It's another edition of Time About the Movies, and we're taking a look at the movies on November 3rd, 2000 today, on this day, the first day of 2024, so Happy New Year to everybody. So, I only got 2 movies to look at today, so we can get through this pretty quickly. So, let's not waste any more time, and go ahead and jump on into it. We'll start off with the biggest new release of the weekend, Drew Barrymore, Cameron Diaz, and Lucy Liu in Charlie's Angels. Well, the award for the most 2000s trailer obviously goes to that because, good lord, that's what we thought 2000 movies were going to be like in 2000 at that point. But that was, then again, that's what you expect from a guy like Mick G. But, so, as the title indicates, this is based off of the popular 70s TV series of the same name that launched the careers of Farrah Fawcett, Kate Jackson, Jacqueline Smith, and featured John Forsythe as the voice of Charlie, who actually reprises his role in this movie. And it's basically the same thing as the TV series. It's a modernized version of it, this time with Cameron Diaz, Drew Barrymore, and Lucy Liu as the 3 women working for Charlie. Bill Murray stars as John Bosley, replacing David Doyle. It also has Sam Rockwell, Tim Curry, Kelly Lynch, Crispin Glover, Matt LeBlanc, Luke Wilson, and Tom Green among the cast in here. Tom Green and Drew Barrymore, of course, were dating at the time of this movie's coming out. This is a very interesting film because I remember seeing it when I was about 11 years old. I mean, it came out around the age I probably would have enjoyed this movie, mostly because of the hypersexuality that is in this movie, because there is a lot of not quite nudity, but there is a lot of sexy scenes with these 3 ladies in here. And not only that, there is some iffy stuff in here. There's definitely some stereotypes and some stuff here that would definitely not fly in 2024, I guess. I was going to say 2023, but we're now in 2024. But yeah, a lot of this stuff probably would not fly today. This movie did not hold up well for a number of different reasons. But yeah, some of the visual effects in here are not really that great. The action sequences are pretty fun. Drew Barrymore, Charlie. I'm getting all these names confused here. Cameron Diaz, Drew Barrymore, and Lucy Liu. I almost said Charlize Theron, but no, she's not in this movie. But the chemistry between the 3 leads is very good. I like Bill Murray as Bosley. I think he does a pretty good job here. But everybody else is just kind of like, they're not that good. I mean, everybody else is kind of there playing the typical stock roles that they're usually supposed to play with these specific actors in here. But the action sequences are pretty good. Sometimes the humor can work, other times not so much. So it isn't a complete waste of time, and it definitely is not a complete disaster on any level, shape, or form. But there are definitely going to be some moments where you'll be pulling the Charles Nelson Riley, going like pulling your collar, just like, oh, we got away with that back then? Like, yeah, it's a movie that really, really does not hold up well for a number of different times in the movie. But when it does, it's fine for what it is, but it's definitely a product of the time period, to say the least. Like, it's a movie that literally screams out 2000s, and for a 2000s version of Charlie's Angels, I suppose you could do much worse. I mean, it could be the Elizabeth Banks one from a couple of years ago. That movie is bad for a number of different reasons, but yeah, I digress. This one is just, it's fine. It's fine for what it is, but man, it definitely does not hold up in several parts. But for what it is, it delivers what it promises. But again, sometimes it doesn't hold up well at all. But like I said, product of the time. So that's my thoughts on Charlie's Angels. So let's go ahead and move on to our last movie we have here, and that is Will Smith, Matt Damon, and Charlize Theron. This is the movie she's in. Bag of Ants, the name, and you've lost your swing. You gotta go find it. That is literally what I remember most from this movie, is that scene from the trailer where Will Smith introduces himself to Matt Damon. And, yeah, needless to say, that's part of the problem with the movie in particular. So what is the story of the legend? What is the legend of Bag of Ants is what I'm trying to say. Well, the story is that you have this war veteran who reluctantly agrees to play a game of golf. He finds the game futile until his caddy, Bagger Vance, played by Will Smith, teaches him the secrets of the authentic golf stroke, which turns out also to be the secret to mastering any challenges and finding meaning in life. And, it's a shame that this movie really falls apart, mostly because of one specific thing that we'll get to, because people in here are trying. Will Smith, this was his chance to break out into a more dramatic role, which did not work with him in the long run, and it kind of shows here, unfortunately. But he's not bad in the movie. he's just a character that we're going to get to in a little bit of why this movie was heavily criticized. But Matt Damon and Charlize Theron are perfectly fine in here. Robert Redford directed this movie, which is, it's fine, but not really up to some of his best works. This writer, Jeremy Levin, has written some other movies since this one has come out, much better films. He wrote and directed Don Juan DeMarco. He did Alex and Emma, The Notebook, Real Steel. He wrote The Time Traveler's Wife. So he has written some notable things outside of this movie, but the film itself suffers because of one specific thing, and I think you can kind of figure out what it is. This is a film that was criticized a lot by African-American critics and commenters at the time, and basically for employing the magical Negro stereotype, which is, yeah, this is definitely one of the very definitions of one of those movies that definitely uses that. I mean, like, it's really hard to sell a movie like this on that to people who are not, to people who are African-American. They look at this and just like we're trying to get rid of this stuff nowadays. It's just kind of like, and it's not it wouldn't be the first. It's not the first time this has happened. It wouldn't be the last time after this. I mean, there'd be movies after this movie came out that uses this, and it just, the movie doesn't really work because it's just, Will Smith is basically falling into that stereotyping here. I mean, he's not really doing anything to elevate that to another level. Like, it's kind of like with Jennifer Hudson in the Sex and the City movie, where she's kind of like the white, she's kind of like the savior to Sarah Jessica Parker's character. I mean, she's pretty much playing the same character in that movie. She's not really given a whole lot to do. She's just there to be the person Sarah Jessica Parker goes to for advice and all that. And that's basically what Matt Damon is doing in this movie. And the film does not do a very good job of giving Will Smith more to do than just being that stereotype, and it really hurts the ebb and flow of the movie, because there is a lot you could tell with the story, but just the execution and the way they handle it, it just doesn't really work, and it falls into those the typical underdog sports movie mentality storylines, the stuff we've seen done over and over again, and it doesn't do anything new or different with it. You could get away with that if your movie stands out or something like that. Remember, The Titans is a perfect example of that. We just talked about that one. And The Replacements. We've had a couple of really good sports movies that kind of elevates itself to another level to become something unique and different. But this just isn't it. I mean, I was really let down watching this movie again recently, because I thought maybe time had passed. Maybe there was more to this that I was missing the first time around. But it doesn't really handle that well. And for Robert Redford, you really expect a whole lot more for him as a director to really handle this type of story better. But it just doesn't work in the end. It's a shame, too. It's also the last film Jack Lemmon was in before he died, so it was Lane Smith. A lot of good talent involved in this, but just missed opportunity after missed opportunity, and it just fell apart at the worst possible time. It's just really, really a major, major misstep. So there you go. That's The Legend of Bagger Vance. And so with that said, we wrap up another edition of Time About the Movies. When we meet next time, we'll take a look at 3 more movies, including Adam Sandler as Little Nicky, Robert De Niro and Cuba Gooding Jr. starring in Men of Honor, and we also have Val Kilmer in Red Planet. So 3 films to look at next time around. We will delve into those on the next episode. But until then, thank you so much for watching, and if you want to see more videos like this, please hit the playlist on the next page, check out the previous episode, and also don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button if you want to see more videos like this on this channel. So with that said, I am off. I will see you guys next time, and until then, as always, take care.